What's going on, GV Motoring family? It's your boy. Today we have a very exciting project. We are finally going to get some lights on the Jeep. So as some of you may know, we already have the bumper and winch installed. Still got to connect the fog lights that came with the bumper. But today we have a special headlight treat. Without further ado, here we are. Today we are going to be installing the Quadratec Stealth LED headlights. Look at these beauties. I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. Oops. So I will talk about why I went with these. Take a look. I didn't remove any of the plastic covering. These are 100% plug and play. If you have the JK and higher model, you will need a resistor that would come with it. If you order it as a TJ or CJ, it just comes with the lights, which are 100% plug and play. They're nice enough to include instructions, but I'm also going to walk through the installation real quick. It's a very easy job, and all you need are the following. That, my friends, is a T15 Torx 15 drill bit. That's literally all you need. You have 3 bolts for the headlight bezel, and then 4 bolts, screws, which hold in the headlight in its place. So a total of 7 per side. So you can see what the stock headlight looks like. I painted the bezel, right? So they have that black bezel, but stock. Get some pics so we can get that before and after comparison. So as you guys saw, these are going to make a really great difference. I opted for the Stealth just so we can match the black with the black out bezels that I went ahead and painted. Let's get started. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you guys how to remove the headlight. It's pretty simple. You have 3 Torx 15 bolts to hold the bezel. So let's get that off first, then we'll move on to the next step. Cool. So I'm using a drill. I highly recommend a screwdriver over a drill, but this is all I have. I don't have my adapter with me, so. So once you've taken them out, you just nice and gently pry it out with your hand. Some people use a screwdriver, depends on maybe the last time you took it off. Cool. So now we have 4 bolts, 4 screws holding them in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I highly recommend, if you have an older car like me and these have never really been changed for a while, hitting them with some PB Blaster to get started. So, sorry, I'm going to cover the lens so we don't get any overspray on it. Ooh. Yeah, that was a good thing I covered it because there was a lot of recoil on that. So we can let that sit for maybe 2 minutes, and then we're going to hit it with the drill. It's better just to be overprotective and do this instead of stripping out the bolts and creating a headache. I stripped one of them. Just be patient with it, and when you do apply your screwdriver in, just give it some pressure on the back like that. Push against it to make sure you're really getting all that torque in there. But I'm gonna give this a minute and then come back to it. Yo, I found the screwdriver. It's actually in my car. Way easier, my goodness. When you take them out, be very gentle and delicate not to drop them, especially if you're doing this in the dark, because if you lose these, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Fuck, that one's stripped. Okay, we managed to get 3 of the 4 out. I'm gonna try to go one size up with the Torx 20 and see if we can get it out. Yo, this is the first time I might actually strip the bolt out with an extractor. Dude, these are trash. These do not work very well. I don't know how people have so much luck with them, but this might be the first time that I actually get it to work.
6.5 hours later.
Jesus. This is a straight up circle now. Bowl. Same thing here, nasty. And we're gonna clean this guy. I don't know if you can see very well, but it's pretty dirty. So I'm gonna take advantage that the headlight's out and give it some detox because this thing's pretty nasty and grimy. So yeah, let's spray it down. Look at this. Just gonna let it hang and dry for a little bit while I find another screw to put in. As I said to you before, just plug and play. You can just place it here and even test it out. That's what I like to see. Effortless, easy, no problems. Quadratec LED headlights. High beam. That's awesome. It's daytime, so obviously we won't see it as well, but I'm very happy that just plug and play. So what we now have to do, you might want to wash your hands off, is just put everything back reverse order. 4 bolts on this, which is going to hold it in place, and then 3 bolts around the bezel. Let's get to it. You know, these are obviously headlights, so you can't treat these like they're children. They can't get dirty, especially the way we treat our Jeeps going out and mudding. So, you know, just be as careful as possible, but don't stress too much. The thing to note too is that the spacing on this bracket you can't get wrong, because these two are much closer together than, say, these two. So in this case, I'm assuming it'll be the same in your guys' Jeep, but I'm gonna have to put it sideways like this. And there's this little cut in the middle that shows it's at the bottom. This should kind of hold itself in place before you even put the bracket in, so you'll know that's pretty straightened out. All lined up, and now we just put the bolts in. Okay, I got one in. Now it's gonna kind of hold itself in. I would not tighten it way too much just yet. Make sure we get everything in first, everything aligned, and then you can go ahead and tighten them down. Let's do a cross pattern. It's always good to go diagonal from one another just so you don't over tighten one side. Look at that, you can give it a wiggle. It's not going anywhere. We're chilling. Just put the bezel in now. And here we go. The bezel also, you can't get it wrong because the spacing, the way the spacing's set up, you're always gonna, there's only like one way to put it in. And it happens to be this way. Pop it in, so we're in place. Now, this one's much easier than the other bracket. Got 1 in, 2 in. And we are good. Wow. That is mean. That is so nice. Oh my goodness. Such an improvement. Let's get the lights on. Old school. Oh yes. Oh my goodness. Night and day difference. This is insane. Wow. That's just straight up clean. Get some pics in there. Hey friends, so I managed to pull up some old footage of me driving with the stock headlights on a very similar road. As you can see, I have to put the high beams on just to be able to illuminate the dark road. Now let's put that into comparison with the new Quadratec Stealth LED headlights. So friends, I don't think the video will do it just as much justice, but for those TJ stock headlight owners, they know the headlights are downright dangerous from the factory. Right now we're on a pretty dark road. It's hard to do around here in Boston. There's so much light pollution, but this is just low beam, and that's high beam. I'll just jump out the car real quick to show you what it looks like from the outside. So as you can see, it's a beautiful light pattern. It's not overwhelming as you get from some, cheap alternatives. It's legal, you're compliant, and once again, these come with a 3-year warranty, so that was my cause for getting them. Let's get those high beams on. And that's where you get the full picture. I love the look. I think it really complements everything I've been going for. And yeah. Hey guys, so I did not end up recording an outro. I ended up actually getting pretty spooked by the dark. Where we were, it was right next to a cemetery on a closed road, so it was pretty creepy.
Sure, this is mad scary, holy shit.
But I thought it'd be a good idea for me to explain why I ended up going with the Quadratec Gen 2 Stealth LED headlights. As you guys know, the TJ Wrangler has many options on the aftermarket, and trust me, I did my research. I looked throughout the forums, and there's a really great guide on the TJ forum. I'll put a link to that in the description, where it basically breaks down all of the headlights. I came across the Quadratec because in reality they are the United Pacific 31400s. They are literally the same exact headlight. In the States, I guess, or it just happened to be one of the manufacturers that I came across. But this is actually fabricated by 3 different companies and 3 different names. So I was between, my top 2 were actually the JW speaker. The reason I was turned off by them is that I saw a lot of reviews saying how they're not necessarily plug and play. Also, when I was looking, they were around the 400 price range. I know the DLRs were going to be a little bit complicated to tap in. Not that that was the deal breaker, but it was just overall the design. From what I was seeing, people were getting some issues here and there. I then changed my top choice to the KC Highlight Gravity, but at $613, it was just too hard to justify on my 2000 Jeep Wrangler. You know, the car's 20 years old. So to put lights, you know, at this price range, you know, much respect to those who opt for them, but I just couldn't justify it. And so I did my reviews. You know, I also looked into cheaper alternatives. I almost ended up going with some Sun Pies or basically generic knockoffs. But I had bad experience with my previous car with HIDs, just aftermarket. So I ended up settling for the Quadratec after finding out that they have a 3-year warranty. They're plug and play and just great reviews overall. So at the price, it's on the higher end of prices. However, it's not nearly as much as KC Highlights, for example. Yes, they come with like a 23-year warranty, but I don't know where I'm going to be in 23 years. So there's no need for that for car headlights. So yeah, that's why I ended up going with them.